The spoilers. The spoilers. This is spoilers. This is the spoilers.
Apocalypse Now.
Nice. Wow.
How long have you been sitting on that one for?
My mom told me to say it. Shout out Nurse Stacy.
Wow.
Yes.
And the Patreons pay us.
Yeah.
My goodness. How are you guys doing this evening? This is your host, Josh from Goshen. I'm doing this part 2 for us of Apocalypse Now. And as promised, we have Stevie, and we'll get to him a little in just a second.
What's up?
Hey, but as per usual, we'll get you all started with an opening question. Let me get my notes here.
Josh is doing it all, by the way. He's manning
He's really
the
doing a lot of
soundboard.
heavy lifting here.
He's hosting.
Soundboard. Okay, yeah. Okay, so opening question. Pappy, you can go first. What's your biggest horror?
Whoa.
No, I'm just joking.
Inside the home or outside?
I just wanted
Pronounced whores.
I just wanted it to be what's going on with you guys lately. Just name something going on that you'd like to mention. Just give us a little peek into your life.
Oh, that's fun. Can I get a little Valkyries or the end behind me? Some backing?
Jeez, dude, how
I like some Valkyries,
demanding.
man.
Valkyries would be fun.
Valkyries.
Start
fun.
your answer and I'll get Valkyries when I get to Valkyries.
This is Pappy recording from Stevie's basement next to his currently very alive fish, which Josh has been trying to murder since we got
20-gallon tank, boys. 20-gallon tank.
Josh walks down the basement, sees the fish, and is like, "Oh, this isn't.
That's got to go.
This isn't gonna fly. These fish gotta fry." I was like, "Whoa, Josh!"
I have a beta that's usually pretty active, and it's just eyeing Josh from the side. It doesn't want to move.
You want to turn off my fucking filter, bitch?
This is all slander, by the way. It's bullcrap.
What's new with me? Been crushing the audiobooks. As we've established, it's not reading. It's a different thing. I did not read.
It's not reading.
But
You podcasted a book.
We have Flight of the Valkyries for you listening to audiobooks. That's the lamest shit I've ever heard.
now on Audible. I listened to the what's his name? Jake Tapper Biden book, whatever. Boring, who cares? I did listen to all of the Brandon Sanderson Mistborn series. And that guy's a weird little Mormon,
Okay.
but it was good. I liked it.
Question: did Tapper narrate his own book?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
And-
I'll respect it a little bit.
But no, the best part is he does a Bernie Sanders. Like he does an impression
Oh,
of Bernie
no.
Sanders. Oh, yeah. But then he kind of does an Obama, but then he kind of chickens out too. Like he kind of like,
Yeah, be careful with that one.
yeah, like he almost like caught himself halfway through. But no, I like the Mistborn shit. I don't know if I'm gonna go full Sanderson crazy, but it was fun. I liked it.
Thanks, Pat.
Basement.
And Pappy, last week it was me, you, and Mikey holding it down with episode 1 of this 3-part series. Mikey, what's going on with you lately? And you can throw in your biggest horror if you want, but really just what's going on?
Nah, I'm gonna keep that for another episode. I think.
That's Patreon only content.
Yeah.
It's not spiders, is it?
No, that's pretty weak fear. No, I have a different fear that I had to go through today. I had to lug a fucking couch up 3 flights of stairs and built that today. So got a new couch today. But other than that, just same old, same old. Just watching a lot of basketball right now, and still got 1 episode of Andor left to watch. So
Oh, lucky.
3 flights of stairs with the couch. That's your own personal Vietnam right there, Mikey.
lost a lot of good men.
Is it comfy?
Yeah. how's
Oh
the
yeah,
couch?
it's nice. I'll send you guys a pic of it.
Hell yeah.
We can put it on the Instagram. It's so
It'll be our most liked
Yeah.
post in months. Well, Stevie, we pined for you last week.
Sorry.
We wish you had been here.
I was in Project Hell.
Yeah, it's understandable. We appreciate you letting us go on. We texted you earlier, like, hey, we think we can get this project started, but please join us in week 2. And you were like, bet.
And you
So-
gotta host Heart of Darkness next week.
I will enjoy that.
It's got to be
Someone with mind like mine, I would have really enjoyed hosting that.
Yeah, for sure. So, who are you? Where are you recording from? What's up with you?
Stevie, recording from Elkhart, Indiana, from my basement. Let's see. So earlier this month, I said I gave up on Last of Us. Not gonna pot it.
Mm-hmm.
Powered through it. Finished it. We're gonna pot it. The way I'll leave it is.
Do I need to watch this?
Well, if you want to pod with me, I think it'd be nice if you did. We did the game.
You have done all of The Last of Us.
And you are on season 1.
Right,
I mean,
fine.
can you please just help
God damn it.
I know.
I've seen all the bad clips. I get the gist.
It's worse. Whatever you think it is, it's worse. What I'll say about that show, to not give anything away, is for those who have played the game and love Last of Us 2 like me and Mikey do, it's kind of that Marlon Brando, like, look what they did to my boy, you know, in Godfather. And then for those who haven't played it and enjoy it, you have no idea what you're missing. It's just that awful. Yeah. I can't wait to talk about it though.
Yeah. Save some of that.
I will say that the games have some of the best acting in video games ever. So it's like a hard thing to compare in the first place.
And all that great acting, they removed from the show. So fun times ahead.
Kylo, is he going to pot it with you?
Yeah.
Does he likes it though, right?
He enjoys it, I think.
It'd be interesting.
It's been a little quiet in the thread since like episode 2.
You're right.
I gave up around.
Hype's been dwindling.
I gave up around episode 4, Pap. Is that right? 5?
I think so. Yeah.
4.
You lasted a long time. I didn't watch any of it.
It hit a point where I said that SpongeBob meme of, all right, I gotta head out. Like this is just, it went too far. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to finish Andor though. That'll be a really fun one to get into with you guys.
Andor will be fun.
Oh, and Josh, in other news, I hung up a TV in my back patio.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, we're gonna have movie night here or watch college football on my back patio and drink some beers.
Let's do it.
We should watch Rouge 1 on your patio.
Moulin Rouge 1?
Yeah.
I bet you my neighbors would be down for it. They seem like a lively bunch.
Oh, really? New neighbors?
Couple. Yeah.
They'll just watch from their windows by Knox.
I mean, it'd have to be. It's not the biggest TV, but it gets the job done.
Well, this is Josh from Goshen, like I said earlier. What's been up with me? It's kind of been it's been like the month of tree damage and removal at my house. Pappy saw it. He picked me up. I got another tree down. I've already been trimming up what's down.
Are you felling?
I had to fell a whole tree, unfortunately. The second limb in the last year and a half came down, and it came down on our roof. Luckily, there's no damage. It was just like resting. Its smaller limbs were like resting, and it was still half attached to the tree. I had to get like a specialist guy to come out.
Were you in the house when it fell?
Yeah, and the kids were outside and heard it. It was that dust storm that happened. Remember?
Yeah, people want to forget about that. That was kind of scary.
There was a dust storm in Indiana. We're becoming Okies.
Like a freak dust storm like 3 weeks ago. It was weird.
My daughter thought the sun was the moon and couldn't let it go.
But the other thing I've been doing today is preparing for this podcast a little bit. We got a notification that we've had some comments on our Spotify podcast.
I haven't checked.
All good things, I hope?
So it's kind of funny because I logged in and Pappy like changes the passwords all the time. So it took me forever.
Someone broke in.
We've had some beef with Spotify. So.
I logged in and it was like, you have 2 new comments. And I saw 2 comments and they're both from, one was from me and one was from you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh gosh. And then I was like, actually, no. When I like scrolled down, it was like, no, there's like a bunch of different comments. I don't know why mine and yours. I had like just commented an emoji of a basketball and you just had like a pirate flag.
What was the basketball one for? Double team?
Probably was double team.
Yeah.
But regardless, I pulled some of these comments from the older episodes, just a very small sampling. Do you care if I read a couple?
No. And should encourage the audience to leave more.
Yes. And I feel like if you're on episode 2 of Apocalypse Now, you're kind of a fan. You know what you're in for. So you can sit tight and wait for Apocalypse 2 Part 2 in just a second. Okay. So I don't think we've read this one before, but Raymond Durrell told us on the Full Metal Jacket episode.
Wow.
He said, great episode, gents. I have to say, as a Marine, We call them drill instructors, not drill sergeants. That's for the Army. Keep up the amazing work. Huge fan. Oh,
I like that.
that's pretty
Wow.
cool.
I enjoy that. Thanks for the constructive criticism, too.
If you're going back that far, you got quite the journey ahead, too.
It doesn't get better.
Yeah.
That was peak spoilers for
I should have
a time.
saved that one for last with this being like
The Vietnam movie.
Yeah, exactly. Another war movie. Okay, on the last Airbender pod, Frank Frog said, I hope you guys have watched the TV show by now. It's been taken over by Netflix, so they have the original series and LOK.
Frank Frog. Have
Thanks,
not
Frank Frog.
seen.
Never
Mikey, have you?
watched.
I've watched the original show, not the Netflix, whatever the fuck that was.
Check this one out. On The Good Son, the 1993 movie with a young Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Phil Pottera said, if acting like a robot is good acting, then Macaulay is the better actor. Because I think we're comparing those two.
Yeah.
He is a sociopath. It's a little robotic, to be fair. In our Zodiac episode, Dustman95 said, the Dune comments at the beginning did not age well. Smiley face. I don't know. I don't know what you all said. We're gonna have to go back.
I wasn't on
was
that
that?
episode.
Uh-oh.
Did we say the movie will be bad?
You were on Zodiac.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Zodiac?
Zodiac.
It really bummed me out I wasn't on it, too, because I was like, I love that movie.
So good. Yeah, I don't know what we said about Dune.
And I still don't like Dune, so you know what?
Oh.
There you go.
Can I say something too? Timothy Chalamet, not a real Knicks fan.
No, he's
calling
not.
it. This feels.
Well, I'm
phony.
looking at him right now. He's right there.
He's an actor. He's
right
the
next to
best
Tracy
actor in the
Morgan.
world, Mikey. He can pretend to be a Knicks fan, just like he can pretend to know college ball. You can pick one.
Did you guys see?
He does not know college football.
It was at McAfee. He was on the court at the Pacers game, and what he said, he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have Spike Lee here," and the crowd was like, "Huh?" And we,
Oh yeah,
and he was like, "And we have who else did they have?
Chalamet. was
They have
one.
Timothy Chalamet, ha!" And he was like, "And we have Ben Stiller," and people were like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Now let's send their asses back to fucking L.A. with a loss."
Yeah,
or
he
New
was, like,
York with a loss.
cursing
Starts
on the
cussing.
mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's down in the court. There's children here. Okay, one more movie here. Okay, Gattaca had a couple of comments.
Ooh, that was a fun.
These are all
pod.
movies I was not on.
I was
You were
not-
on Gattaca, 100%.
I wasn't.
I promise.
Oh, no,
you were.
Gattaca? Yeah. I love that
DNA
movie.
one, yeah.
I was
The Brothers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking Gothica. My bad.
David Miller, great episode. Love the content. Awesome night. Awesome pod as usual. I have to say, an awful visual is the image of a thin layer of pap grease on your keyboard.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with a little grease. Get the keyboard started.
Got a new laptop right in front of me.
Kidney
It's not easy yet.
92. This is all just under Gattaca. It really is the go-to movie for science teachers. Watch this in 9th grade. Thanks, Mr. Cox. Great episode, guys. Keep it up. So thank you, Kidney 92.
Was that a Corey request?
I don't know. No, it was a
The
fan
patron?
request.
Gail.
Yeah. Gail. Yeah.
I'll say this.
Good call.
One of the few times in this podcast I'd never seen that movie, and I'm like, that movie was a masterpiece.
Gattaca?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
That movie has stuck with me for a long time.
I think about it a lot.
Me
actually.
too. That movie was fantastic.
Well, that was one of the longest opening questions of all time.
But it's really like the midway point of the journey up the river.
I think so. And just like at the midway point in this movie, there's a few episodes in here where we need to like learn about the characters on the boat a little bit more before they start dying off completely, maybe. Stevie, since this is your first time here with us on the Apocalypse Now, I want to give the first question to you. The guys are on the boat. Chief sees that there's a boat that they need to police or something, right?
I'm not very well versed at all in Vietnam history, Vietnam War history at all.
Neither of them.
This is, to me, one of the stuff that's just not taught.
Who do you think won?
Considering that we don't read about it a lot in our textbooks, I don't think we won.
Yeah.
I mean,
We came to some conclusion.
we call it a tie, but it doesn't sound like we went out there, playing the Star Spangled Banner and on trumpets. It sounds like we kind of left. No, so it makes sense though if you're going upriver and you see a boat and you're like, hey, these people probably have some stuff that we could use. Let's police them. They could have food, they could have cigarettes, they could have contraband, they could have guns, ammo. Let's get it, right? Captain Willard is just like, hey, no. Like, this is a dumb idea. Like, classified orders. I got precedent. And pretty much, like Josh was saying, Chief is like, hey, you're on my boat. You're on my ride. You know what I mean? You're just here until you get to where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is how I kind of see it is like you're trying to take your wife to the hospital and she's like having a baby and like a police car is like, I'll escort you. And on the way, he like pulls someone over for speeding. And you're like, hey, buddy, like we're trying to get to the hospital right
now. To me, though, this is like, I don't know how you guys described it in the first episode, but we're kind of getting a little familial with the group. You know what I mean? It's we're on a boat with these people. It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I love about this movie is it's a lot of it on water. We're not in a battlefield a lot, really at all. It's just we're on a boat with these 6 or 7 guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a young Larry Fishburne, right? I mean,
13 years old, I think we said.
14.
Jesus.
14? Yeah.
He was a child then. That's kind of insane.
It makes it, you don't think of this as a bottle episode, but if you think
It's
of
a
it
bottle
all being on the
episode.
boat, it pretty much is.
Like a lot of this, I love the actors. I know a lot of this was improvised. I know that we'll get into it in Hearts of Darkness, right? But this to me is like the contraband. It's not a contraband run. It's people on boat. They're pulling them over. Hey, let's get them. This is to me where there's a shift in the movie, right, Pap?
Yeah.
What kind of kicks that shift off, I guess?
Well, it's like it's a big part 1 and part 2 where we broke it up. It's almost very different movies.
It's the Full Metal Jacket effect.
Yeah.
It's different movies.
And we were talking about like how like much of part 1 is like a farce and it's funny and they're like a little silly, like over the top. And this is like insanely violent, intense, and it escalates super quickly. And although this is not based on any real event, I would say just like the sloppiness of the way that this is being pulled over feels very real, or pulled off feels very real.
The massacres that happened in Vietnam were very real.
Yeah, Chef doesn't want to get on this fucking boat.
Not much of a method here.
Yeah, I'm just saying like, it wasn't like he was like he'd read in the paper this and put it in his movie. It's more of like the vibe of a lot, like a amalgamation of a lot of different atrocities.
Before I kick it to Mikey to fill out the detail of what happens during this pullover or raid or whatever you want to call it, I want to hit on something Stevie said. You're getting a familial vibe with the people on the boat, right? And there's not just Willard and Chief having a power struggle. It's other people getting on each other's nerves too, right? There's a scene where I think Lawrence Fishburne's character and Chef are just like screaming at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to play you guys this clip because I found it so funny. It's the Chief yelling at Chef to shut up after they're fighting. And I think what he says is just so funny.
Chef, knock it off! Give him a break! What do you think I said? And give your jaws a rest. And this ain't the army. You are sailor. So get out of that Frizzly Army looking shit and stop smoking that dope. You hear me?
He tells him to start smoking that dope. What does that mean?
Chill out.
Start doing it or stop doing it? I couldn't tell.
I thought he said start.
Yeah, the CC said start smoking that
Yeah.
Dude,
dope.
that's so funny.
Oh, wow.
Chill the fuck out. You're not in the army. You're a sailor.
We're in the army. You're a sailor.
Stop smoking that dope.
But Mikey, as we teased a second ago,
You see that other sailor over there? Kiss him on the lips. You're in the Navy now, son.
people don't chill out. What happens when they pull over this poor boat?
Yeah, so Chief wants Chef to hop on the boat and get their documents, their papers or whatever, just to make sure they're legit. And also rummage through their stuff, see if they got any contraband, like Steve was saying. And he's going through the stuff, and he gets close to one basket, and the lady runs towards him, and Larry Fishburne unloads like a whole machine gun into this boat,
Just following his training.
killing the woman, and well, not killing her yet, but she gets shot, and then he lays it into like the three other fishermen on the boat. The woman, who's still alive somehow, she gets finished off by Marty Sheen, because he's like, we're not going to stick around and try and help this woman, evac her or get her medical attention. We're doing my mission. And the quickest way to get that started is to just shoot her.
One of the most important parts of the whole movie.
100%.
Yeah. it's really a great way to remind ourselves that Charlie Sheen, Martin Sheen, or Martin Estevez is not he's not the good guy here. He makes it very clear.
Yeah.
Like, I am not the good guy. It's not a hero's journey. This is where we're going. It's probably, to me, the most important part of the whole movie.
Willard has been very inactive in the story in a lot of ways up until this point, right? Like, we see him flipping shit in the hotel room.
Harrison Ford saying we got a dead one.
Yeah,
Great line.
And he's just kind of been along for the ride, observing the chaos of Kilgore and everything else that's happening. The USO show, he doesn't really do anything. Here he's like, nope, fuck it. Like, I'm stepping in. And somehow my murder seems even ickier than the slaughter we just saw a second ago, which is nuts.
Slow down and take it easy. All right, calm down.
Just wait a minute, Chef.
Bring her up to me. You breathing, Chef?
She's hurt. She's bleeding.
Bring her on board. We're taking her to an Arvin.
Look at her.
What are you talking about?
We're taking her to some friendlies, Captain. She's wounded. She's not dead.
Yeah, this shit.
The book says, Captain.
I like how there's that little line where he's like, watch out, Chef. You notice that? It takes you like by surprise when you first watch this movie when he pulls a trigger, but then when you watch it and you're waiting for it, he's clearly leading up to that the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, the immediate pause too. Like, what are you talking about? Like no, like, what? It clicks in his brain. Like, this guy made captain for a reason, right? I mean, he's not. I mean, he's not a schoolboy or an office jockey by any mean. Like, he's like, he does shit, and he's on a mission. That's the mission. That's it.
And it's like, I don't know. This is why Francis Ford Coppola had to fund this movie by himself, right? Because a lesser movie would have him have some kind of redemption arc, right? Or it would be the opposite. He would be the one saving this one woman, versus like...
That's the whole movie. Right?
No, this is a bad guy in a bad situation that is just batshit crazy the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And what might be the best scene in the movie for my money? Any of these acting performances standing out so far here? On the boat, in that little play we just saw. I just recall Chef freaking out like 4 different times and kind of crying.
Yeah.
Marty Sheen's kind of like slow, smoldering.
Man.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and then the only thing in the basket was a puppy. It wasn't
Lance got
anything
the puppy,
sinister.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lance like wrests it away from Chef.
He's like, no,
Yeah,
mine.
he kind of. I think that's him just like trying to mentally block out what just happened, and like, I'm gonna give me this puppy so I can disassociate for the next 10 minutes or something. Because he looks pretty upset when he's grabbing that puppy.
A little bit of mice and men there, right? Just a little bit of Lenny with the bunny.
Yeah. Lance hasn't been able to surf or water ski in a bit. He's losing his mind.
He's getting itchy.
Yeah.
But as we see here, we get our next quick episode. None of our family on the boats died yet, but as they, under the cover of nightfall, they come up to like this whole bridge with all these lights. It's a pretty crazy scene. And let's just say Lance is doing a little bit more disassociating.
Lance. Hey, Lance. What do you think?
It's beautiful.
Huh? I mean, what's the matter with you? You acting kind of weird.
Hey, you know that last tab of acid I was saving?
Yeah.
I dropped it.
You dropped acid? Far out.
The Dulong Bridge scene, one of my favorites of the whole fucking movie.
You're going to get what you deserve.
He took a germs.
The asshole of the world. And it feels like we're on the
One of the
fringe.
great lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's there's so many little things too, right? Like, obviously this has been pointed out many times, but here at the fringe of the battle, there's way more black soldiers than we saw in Kilgore's camp. And of course, Zero that we saw back in the General's camp with Harrison Ford. It's equally as crazy, but just also they're not able to put the American sheen on it, right? In the same way that
That's the point of the whole movie.
in Kilgore was, right? Kilgore's like able to control the situation. Here you're on the fringe. Here you're like way out there, and it shows and everything.
You're out in the sticks.
Yeah. Not to mention Lance is like tripping balls.
They don't even look like they're They look like they're fighting ghosts. Like they're not fighting anyone in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the whole point too. Is the whole like, and one of my favorite parts. This movie to me is a masterpiece. I'll get into this later, but the idea of, Martin Estevez running around going, where's the CO? Where's the CO? He's used to a little bit of conformity, right? That's the military drilled into him. Of where's your CO? Where's command? Mm-hmm. I got to funnel this through. We got to work some shit out. And the idea of there not being a CO on the fringe of the world is insane.
Mm-hmm. It's hell.
No one wanted to take control of it. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah. No one took charge.
It fucking looks like hell with like the people when they first get there, like reaching up, trying to get out of the boat. It looks like the fucking
a little bit of Dante in there.
Sticks, or something. Yeah, it's just, it's not a place you want to be.
You're in the asshole of the world, Captain.
And I love the lines about the CO too. Like, doesn't one guy say like, he's like, "Do you know who the CO is?" And he goes, "Yeah,"
and walks away.
Dude, that was Roach. Which is an amazing character in this movie. He clearly is suffering from PSD already, and he's still on the battlefield. And they're like, we need to finish this one guy off, and we can't get him with this machine gun. Call in Roach. And this dude just calmly walks over, and he's like, I hear him. Don't worry about a flare. I got this. And boy, does he. Like, he just kind of deeply breathes and shoots like a mortar up in the air, like lobs it. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
No look.
No look fast.
It's like the opening Call of Duty grenade throw, and you hope you hit somebody.
Noob tubing.
Stevie, does this scene like remind you of Metal Gear Solid?
Yes.
Like in any way? Like all of the very slow people like slowly going through the environment and like saying just
the weirdest shit. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the shell shock coming out, and of them you're like, all right, I'm digging it.
Yeah.
These guys that are alive, though, actually seem pretty good at their job, don't you think, Pappy? Especially like Roach. Like, he hits the nail. This isn't horseshoes and grenades. Like, he had a grenade and hit the bullseye anyway.
No scopes him. Yeah. I mean, listen, when you build a bridge every single fucking day, you get pretty good at it, right? Like, they can't hold the bridge, but they can build the bridge. And that's all they need to do, just to say that the bridge is open. Not really accomplishing anything, just adding to the madness on madness on madness.
Yeah, it's like a political gesture. And there's Roach right here. We see him. They're playing
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, diuretically in the movie, and he kind of presses stop right there. It's kind of a cool moment. But
do you think Lance is having a good trip, Stevie?
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Pappy. Didn't the actor actually drop acid?
Did he? I don't know.
I think that was part of it.
I want to get like into more of that in the Heart of Darkness too. Just every like making of fact. We'll double check that.
It doesn't seem like his trip ends during the course of this movie. Like, he drops acid.
Yeah.
And either it fries his brain or it lasts. It's like a 2-week dose or something. I don't know. He's tripped out the rest of the movie.
I would say bad trip. I don't think this would be
I don't think he's having a fun ride. I mean,
I think he was having fun until the yak. And the yak.
Yeah, no one wants to see
really
that.
Was a turn for him.
Water buffalo.
That's not for a while, Mikey. The yak.
He's got a nice long, slow roll.
He had a
going.
fun time up until then.
Is that what it is? It's a yak? It's like an ox? It's a cow?
It's probably
like
a water buffalo, like Pappy said.
He ends up like really getting into the sacrifice, though, when you think about it. He kind of jumps into the fray, and he's like, all right.
Yeah, he's putting the oil on the thing.
He's
I think he's having a great trip. I think he's like seeing...
It's like one of those things where if Captain Willard came by and he's like, Lance, have you seen Kurtz? And he's like, who the fuck is Kurtz?
Yeah.
He just walks away.
You see him with the kids just walking around and like laughing later. And I think it's part of the reason he survives is that he's just all chilled out. But we're not quite there yet. Because...
Can I bring up one more thing, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I wasn't on part one. I don't want to venture back to part one too much. But Pap, you make a great point. I don't know if it's you or Josh made it, where you guys talk about like being like almost the American Sheen is with Kilgore, right? Is just like this is the red, white, and blue, the confidence, the cockiness, right? The idea of being on the battlefield saying, hey, give me that gun, soldier, go surf. I want to see what the waves are doing.
Yeah.
And also just the difference in attitude between it. Because to me, like Kilgore is saying this war is going to end someday, and he's almost sad about it.
Right, yeah.
That attitude's insane. Like, where he goes, this war is going to end someday, which I told Pappy earlier might be my favorite line ever uttered in a movie.
Right, yeah.
Like, just because of his whole attitude, his whole brazen attitude, saying, enjoy it while it lasts, gentlemen. This war is going to end someday. It's an insane thing.
Yeah.
And then you venture out to the fringe where it's just... It's still the same kind of madness, but that American Sheen is completely gone. There's no remnants of the red, white, and blue anymore at all. It's dark. It's gross. There's no command. It's just the thick of war for no reason.
Yeah, call it like moving through the layers of hell. Call it like moving away from like the sun and the solar system and things just getting like weirder and darker and stranger as you go. But like, yeah, equally as crazy in many ways. This is just the Americans can't control this. They can't impose their surfing and burgers and beer here. And this is
we
what
need napalm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's right after here, this next morning, after they finally leave this bridge, this last like checkpoint of humanity is kind of how they look at it. They get ambushed, and we get our first death in the family, right, Stevie?
Larry, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of surprising because
starts out as a prank.
Yeah.
Like, it is kind of surprising, though, because, I mean, it's the idea of, like, we are in a bottle episode still on the boat, but also it's just chaos all around. Like, and to me, it just seems like everyone is really taken aback because he's so young. I mean, I think, like, it's the idea of, like, a young kid being on there. And it's just, like, everyone does bust his balls. They realize how young he is, how naive he is. You know, he's just a kid. And it's like, when he dies, everyone is taken aback. Even Chief is just like, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? He even does a double take. It's I'm sure he's seen death in the war being on that boat, and that one kind of took him for pause. You have Chef kind of losing his mind over it. It's really sad situation where he just gets popped immediately.
Every time I've seen Apocalypse Now, I've been sad about young Larry dying. And it's just surprising because not 10 minutes ago in the movie, we saw him mow down a bunch of Vietnamese people with a machine gun, right? But it's just like the absurdity of the circumstances. He should never be here. You know what I mean?
You had to know when people are getting mail that someone's going to die in the next 5 minutes.
Dude, that mail guy's the worst job in the army. That shit would suck. Having to just go there and deliver.
Well, and also
mail.
Martin Sheen gets like the best mail of all time, right? Hey, letting you know, we tried this once before. He's still alive.
Yeah.
And he's with Kurtz at his side.
And like with him, I mean, he's with him.
So they kind of know what we're doing. That's rough.
There's another guy you got to worry about.
You can't fool him. They tried this.
Is that orange fence in the scene where they get ambushed? When Lance is doing his like dance with the purple smoke and all that shit. Is that like the literal border of Cambodia? Is that what that fence is supposed to be? I never knew like why.
I don't know.
We have a big ass fence out there.
I mean, I don't know much about military warfare, but do the colors like symbolize something, or is it just something they did for the movie?
Just cool. I don't know.
Is it purple haze?
Purple for something, red for something.
Smoke on the water? I don't know.
It's definitely
Deep
smoke
purple?
on the water.
Yeah.
You know, this ambush pops up out of nowhere, and of course, people are going to want to fire at them at some point. I feel like this, like you said, Pappy, they kind of deserve it. They just mowed down some people. Maybe word got ahead, or maybe these people are just waiting here to like ambush whenever they can. But Pappy, did you get the sense that Clean's death starts to break Chief a little bit?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think so. Chief or Chef? Which one?
Chef, I feel like, has been going crazy for a while, but
He just wants to go home.
Chief says something about like so young, and he cries, and I don't know, maybe he's taking responsibility, but I think he's cracking here pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, and you know, they're the two black guys on the boat too. I'm sure he sees something in himself, and like, why the fuck are we even here? You know, and all of those thoughts are probably coming to him, and you know, he's bitter about being here too, as we'll see later when he dies. He's gonna try and take one out with him when Chief has to go. So, dude, and it's, I don't know. Do you guys think it's like almost over the top sad that Clean is listening to like the tape from his mom?
That's what I said.
It's
like,
so
you knew
sad.
he was gonna die.
That shit's nuts. It's a nuts thing to have. He's like holding the tape recorder up to his head, which is a good idea at the time with the technology. But damn, that is so sad.
It's like that scene in Black Dynamite where like they're talking about like, when I get home, I'm going to do this with my family and do that. He immediately gets like shot. And Black Dynamite goes, saw that one coming.
I can't wait to see you again. All of a sudden,
Well, Pappy, you teased it a little bit there, but they get kind of like ambushed part 2 here. It's the very next scene. So I do want to start walking us through that.
Yeah, I mean, they're deep in the shit here. They're in a very, what do they call it? Hairy. It's very hot down here. It's a very spicy situation to be in.
Not much backup.
No. And I think we're also starting to see like more of the, I don't know what you'd call it, like pagan or like just like native, like symbolism and like skulls and shit from the earth. You know what I mean? It looks very like tribal, creepy,
Kong Island type shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Getting weirder and weirder as we go. And these locals have bows and arrows. So it doesn't seem to be a big threat. I think Lance even one point does the like arrow through my head bit. You know, that old gag.
They got me.
He does. He's wearing that for a while.
Yeah. But then unfortunately a spear gets Chief and it's super sad.
Is it? Or is it disturbing?
But a little bit of both. I like Chief. I like Chief a lot. The whole movie. He's just trying to get through the day.
What do you think, Mikey?
Oh man, Chief was so sick of everybody's shit. He really was kind of the last one I wanted to see go. Just the guy trying to do his job.
He just wanted to get home and manage the Chicago Cubs as best he could. It's all he wanted to do.
Yeah, but him being like so bitter that he does try to kill Willard is kind of a crazy scene as well.
He's asked to turn around a couple of times. He's like, which way? And Willard's like, you know which way, Chief. You know, Chief is trying to bail out of the situation.
I think what was cool about that is because I watched the whole movie last week and then today too. But when I saw this scene last week, I was thinking he's just vindictive. He's pissed he died, and it was because of Martin Sheen's character. Like, I wouldn't have a spear through my chest if it weren't for you. But then today when I was watching it, I think kind of a cooler angle of thinking about it is that it's his paternal instinct kicking in. If he can kill Martin Sheen right now, the other two guys in the boat can straight up turn around and go back. Like there's no more going forward. So it's a really kind of like interesting moral dilemma. I would never suggest trying to just murder a friend on your way out. Like, don't try to take someone out with you when you go, people listening to this pod.
He should have done that to Martin Sheen after he shot that lady, though. He should have done that a long time
Just
ago.
shot him?
Yeah. Fuck it.
Gosh.
I mean...
Well, should he have shot clean then, too? For killing all those people in the boat?
No, Clean's cool.
Clean's my guy.
Because Clean killed that lady that darted. You kind of can understand that. And then he just lays down on the bullets for like ever.
He has remorse, though.
He has to get through the clip.
Yeah.
You do? What do you mean?
You got to empty it sometime. You can't take those bullets with you.
You know how much of a pain in the ass to clean out a half clip? So full clip or nothing.
It's going to get used. It's going to get shot.
I feel like I love all those episodes, but it's really all leading to one thing here. It's getting more and more tribal, more and more remote, and all of a sudden they pop out into this clearing and everything's calm. And Martin Sheen says something like, "Get your hands off the guns." Mm-hmm. And as the camera pans around, we kind of see Marlon Brando's lair, his estate, his compound. What are your first takes?
We're in Jonestown, man.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, it's Temple of Doom out here.
We are. I mean, I'm waiting for Harrison Ford to show up being like, you found it. Like, it's, he is, like I said, we're venturing to the end of the earth, is like the way I describe it in movie talk. And you're right. It's almost like a, how would I describe it? Like, almost like these guys are Columbus, like landing in the Indies, like, and being greeted by all the natives there. You know what I mean? It's just this weird tension of like, all right, what am I in for? And it's very clear that, like, you know, we've been told, hey, Marlon Brando's kind of lost his goddamn mind, Colonel Kurtz. Just here's the idea, you got to kill him. Here's the mission, and like you can tell, like Martin Sheen, you're just like this kind of ominous presence as he's moving through. Like, okay, I'm getting closer and closer. You can almost feel him, and there's no bones about it. Like when we land, it's immediately like, oh shit,
yeah,
this is a little out of hand, like for even my taste. I mean,
that shot's amazing too because we don't get this as much in modern day movies. There's and we'll talk about this more obviously next week, but just the practical side of constructing that shot, right? Like getting what looks like 150 extras on fucking boats and laying them out.
And then
like,
150 more on the shore waiting there.
Just executing that, and half of them are like painted and shit. It's a gorgeous shot. It's so cool.
And he's in the foreground on the boat.
And you're like, okay, we've reached the next level of hell here, down one floor.
To Stevie's point, they could start unloading the machine guns, but I think there's more people than bullets and men to fire them at this point. So it's kind of out of their control, and they recognize that. So it's a huge moment of tension that is cut by our good boy, Dennis Hopper. Do you like this part, Mikey? Do you like this new character?
Dennis Hopper, he is a weird one. He's a photojournalist. Yeah. He's playing a really crazy photojournalist who's been covering the war since like 1964. I'm not sure what year this is supposed to be in this movie at the time, but he's been in the jungle a while, and he like he's been following Kurtz, and he knows how Kurtz operates and stuff, and he's seen him kill some people that follow him for seemingly no reason. He knows that he's like crazy and stuff, and he's somehow just completely loyal to him, and he's even been threatened by Kurtz himself. So
we all have bad days, man. We all have bad days. He's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's a genius, man. We all have bad days.
He told me he'd kill me, and he meant it. He says with admiration.
He's a warrior poet, man, in the classical sense. God.
This is the thing of the movie that I wish they did go. Like, this is what I would want to see, like a 4-hour cut of this movie. I was like, why is Brando so revered? Like, what did he do that all of these people are just like blindly loyal to him? Like, what are they seeing in him? And we don't really see that.
Let's pause it a little bit. Let's guess. Like, what do you guys think? I think one thing it's alluded to is he just gives some hella good speeches. He goes out there and blows people's mind with some mind puzzles or something, and some people just have that effect on people. They got that little stardust glow, and they make people feel like they're part of something special. I think that's part of it.
He's Big Boss. He's just Big Boss from Metal Gear.
He is rotund too. He looks like a Harkonnen in this movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll ignore you. Sometimes he'll throw you in a corner and scream poetry in your face or something like that. Isn't that what Dennis Hopper says?
Seems like the type of shit where he'd be like, what is the spear but the man who threw it?
I think that he gives these locals technology to a certain extent.
Is he their Prometheus?
But more so like knowledge. Like the way that they're all on their canoes, like kind of waiting in formation. I get the feeling like they know some sort of tactics now, and they've pulled off some missions for him. He's giving these local people under him their own kind of power. And then ultimately, I guess the last thing, a lot of these have seemed positive. He has the fear of God stricken in all of them. Like, he will torture your balls off.
Yeah. And he's also, he's a military genius too, right? Like, we've established that earlier in the movie based on his career. He's assassinated 4 of the local leaders, probably too.
The ones that were giving him
double agents.
Yeah. So, he's been building this just.
He created like a pocket of chaos. I think with those assassinations, he like any oversight that could have possibly been brought to his area, it's like all gone. So he's he's just created this little like Goldilocks area where he can operate.
And obviously, like, the whole idea of like Apocalypse Now is just the absurdity of it. But I love that he like chooses this ancient like temple as his seat. You know what I mean? Like, just this old, dilapidated but still beautiful like temples where he chooses to rule from. It's just what a weird.
Because if I'm like Francis and like we've been like building up to this guy the entire time, I'm pissed at how rotund he showed up.
Yeah.
Like, I would be irate.
And not knowing his lines. And
like,
he's eating good in the jungle.
It's like, this guy's like legit like Green Beret. Like, he's it, right? This is G.I. Joe. This is the American like cartoon almost. And we get rotund and slacks.
Yeah.
I guess, but man, none of my viewings of this movie have I ever been like, man, I wish Marlon Brando looked more like a superhero or had abs out there. Like,
Martin did.
I think maybe Francis Ford Coppola missed the mark on what Marlon Brando needed to look like. He doesn't need to look like a commando. He needs to look like a commander.
No, but he looks like needs to look like he's been in the thick for a while, not eating, McDonald's every day.
The only thing I'll say is like,
he's got all these servants.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to be.
They're eating water buffalo regularly.
Yeah, he's got all this beef. Yak beef.
You know how much fat there is in yak beef?
He's also
some greasy burgers.
He's also kind of over it in a way too, right? Like he writes in his journal, "Bomb everybody," and Martin Sheen says, "I think he kind of wanted to die anyway." You know what I mean? So this is also a guy who's like on the other side of this power.
Oh,
yeah.
I also wish we didn't see that part either. I wish we saw like him still in the shit of it, being crazy, running operations or something. Because I want to know what this guy was up to. Like they don't really explain anything other than the double agent assassination.
He really explicitly says, like, Martin Sheen, if someone were to kill me, I'd hope they'd, go and visit my son and tell him some things about, if they were to kill me, like
everything
you might do.
That happened.
That'd be nice.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they're here. There's like heads and bodies all around, and I think the next
like Predator.
There's some Predator vibes happening here for sure.
A little dong being hung.
Just in the sake of like moving our boat up the river here, Stevie, let's hit on kind of Chef's last few scenes. How does his character arc roll out?
So what do you want to do? I'll kill the fuck.
No.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna need you to wait here, Chef. I'll go up with Lance, scrounge around, check the place out, see if I can find the Colonel. Okay?
Well, what do you want me to do?
Damn. Right. Here, take the radio. And if I don't get back by 2200 hours, you'll call in the airstrike.
Airstrike.
The code is Almighty, coordinates 0902-64712. It's all in there.
So the brilliance about this is, you guys touched on it, that Marlon Brando is a military genius, right? The minute that he sees Captain Willard, he knows there's a clock ticking.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the brilliance of him, is his calmness knowing, I have this much time. Because this is probably a protocol, because he's been through this, right? I mean, this guy knows everything. So in his brain, whether we know it or not, there's a clock ticking. He is in a race against time. He has to get the Chef, because he knows that there's probably someone on that boat, and it's definitely not that fuck who's on acid.
Yeah.
There's someone back there, right? There's a third. I know there's a third. I have to get to him. And he does. And like the saddest part about that too is, Martin Sheen is accepting his death. He's like, all right, I know it's been this amount of time. I know I'm good. Like I'm accepting my death here. My mission is complete. My mission's complete. And he gets something way different. And it is truly just awful, really.
Yeah. Just good movie making too, because we, the audience, also have that ticking clock, right? Because like we lose track of Chef. We know that there's an airstrike coming any minute. At this point, we're like, well, could this be the way the movie ends in a giant hellfire from the sky? Nope, Chef's head deposited.
Man, I never thought of that. So like, I always thought Martin Sheen's anguish when he sees Chef's head is just like, that's my friend in this, and I'm being tortured right now. This is just extra shitty. But he's also thinking, oh, great, that airstrike isn't coming in, and this isn't going to end.
Right.
Damn.
He's accepted his death. He's accepted it. He's like, all right, I'm good. Like any minute now. Let's go. Let's throw some napalm down. I'm good. Incinerate my ass. Let's go. Like, done with the woods. I mean, he just, and that's kind of, it's the horror too of seeing a head dropped at your feet, but also the realization that like, you best start believing in ghost stories because I'm in one right now.
Good. Pappy, take us through some of what Marlon Brando puts Martin Sheen's character through here, even after Chef's death, right? It gets pretty dark.
It does for a little bit. He's in this like standing cage torture device, and there's a lot of blood around, and Dennis Hopper is doing his manic on drugs interrogation of him. And I don't know, Steve, I was thinking about this earlier too. There's a lot of different like crazy characters in movies, Like, especially like the YA or like more normal approaches, like they're kind of like low key wise, you know, or they're like goofy in their craziness. Dennis Hopper's performance he's like the guy who is like actually walking around downtown talking to himself crazy, like the way he talks, you know, it's crazy. It sounds like an actual crazy person.
Yeah. I mean, I know how this movie was made. I'm not going to fault Dennis Hopper, who for my money was a great actor throughout his career.
Oh yeah. I like Dennis Hopper.
Fuck, my first introduction to him was in Speed when I was a kid. Like, nice. I saw Speed at the theaters, and I was like, this guy's awesome. But to me, a simp, like, photojournalist is just kind of a weird character in this part of the world.
How did he even get here?
Not just that, but how is he surviving here? Just because he's so manic and so talky, and just, like, it doesn't seem like Marlon Brando rolls that way, or even Colby rolls that way. It's just, I feel like a year ago, his head would have gotten chopped off at some point.
He can't even take pictures of Kurtz.
Right.
Like,
so
he's just chilling.
I mean,
Kurtz will kill him.
To me, if Hopper lost that manic energy, it makes for a much better character. If he kind of talked more subtly, talked heavier and less, way better character. But also, like, for where they were, how the shoot was going, and the personalities that were on set, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Do what you want, fam. We're here.
I mean, it works during the torture scene, too, because he's just talking Willard's ear off. And I also noticed, Josh, I think at one point, Martin Sheen is laying in the sun, and his chest hair is so prominent. You know what I mean? It's like a little bushy garden. Martin Sheen's chest hair in one of the scenes.
It's its own character at the end.
It's pretty...
And the lights are on.
It casts a shadow.
It's its own character.
It takes over.
Yeah, it has dialogue.
Aldi hamburger meat.
Yeah.
It's like 80-20 lean.
80-20.
Don't you dare disparage Aldi meat when you eat at Martin's.
Hey.
Hey now.
Yeah, I think some of the funny things about the torture are like that little basket thing he's in. It's like a little wooden jail cell, and I feel like you think it's bigger at first, and then Dennis Hopper walks around the back, and it's just the size of a man.
Size of a man.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Dennis Hopper's also like feeding him water out of a ladle, and like sticks a cigarette in his mouth. Martin Sheen's eyes are also so red throughout these scenes too. I don't know if you guys
pre-heart attack or post-heart attack.
I think post-heart
attack.
I think.
Yeah.
Will that make your eyes red?
There's a sign. Hey, you're working a little too hard here, bud.
It looks like Arthur Morgan after chapter 5. I don't. He chugs that ladle water too, Josh. Like he takes a big. Like I was at one point thinking, is this like a magic trick? Like the amount of water in that ladle. How is there so much? It's a deep fucking ladle. Like it's crazy.
Lips are chapped as hell.
But you know, I think Marlon Brando is just like kind of testing Martin Sheen's toughness and survival wit. He's testing him as a man. As you know, they torture him and bring him back to health. They torture him and bring him back to health again. And Marlon Brando, I think at some point, right, guys, he stops torturing him and just starts reading him poetry, which I guess is kind of its own torture. He's got Marlon
just
Brando.
Kill me. Kill me.
Marlon Brando in the left speaker and freaking Dennis Hopper going nuts in the right speaker.
Just waterboard me instead, please.
When's this airstrike coming in? Do you think there's ever a chance here for Marlon Brando to kind of proselytize Martin Sheen successfully and bring him into his side, or is, I guess even further, is Marlon Brando even trying to do that at this point? Like, what's the full purpose of this torture? Is it to let Martin Sheen do what he wants truly, or is it all just to set him up for his own death or something? You guys got to read on this?
Do you have a Stevie theory?
Marlon wants to die.
Yeah.
Kurtz wants to die. I think he looks at Colby as not someone he brought in the fold, but as a failure of his own. Like, God damn it. Mm-hmm. Like, I was hoping this guy would kill me. Maybe that's why he even asked him, like, what do you think of my method here? And he's like, I don't see a method. And it probably excited Kurtz, being like, finally we got one, right?
Instead of someone just kissing his ass.
Instead of someone kissing his ass or being like, hey, this is actually kind of cool. Like, we could do this and do this. It's like, no, like,
yeah.
See, I don't see much method at all, which told Kurtz right away, this guy will complete his mission. Like, this is a mission-driven guy, and he will do it.
Yeah.
So it probably excited him.
In Fat Brando works, too, because it's like, well, when push comes to shove, Willard's going to win this fight. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, maybe Kurtz at his peak versus Willard at his peak, who knows, but Kurtz is going to die. I also think that, like, I think Kurtz sees the ruthlessness within Willard and kind of vibes with it. You know what I mean? Like, he can pick up enough, even if it's just, hey, this guy had to have lost people coming up the river. The fact that he made these motherfuckers come into Cambodia illegally just to kill an American citizen, like,
yeah,
I like the cut of this guy's jib, you know.
And like, we also get that great, inner monologue from Willard earlier, where he's like, I didn't fear the man I was going to see. I feared, like, what do you say? It's like, I feared that I was happy to get in his way, or what,
something like that.
It's one of my, it's an all-time quote, but I mean, that gets you in the mindset of like where Martin Estevez really is. It's like, oh, he's ready to go.
The visual presentation too. It's the whole movie's been mostly colorful and bright and bombastic, and then like once we get to the heart of darkness, it's dark. It's not. It's just a lot in black, a lot in shadow too. Like especially in those first like interview scenes when they're talking about Ohio and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can barely see Brando's face half the time for
reason for it.
A myriad of reasons, but yeah. I think it works.
We got to put shadow on him. We got to put him in black slacks.
Yeah, slimming stripes.
Looks a little like Billy Zane here.
It's great though, because just the way Willard's been struggling to find and talk and approach him, you're still kind of struggling to do that. You're in a room with him, and it's like he still hasn't kind of come fully into focus yet. You're with him in person, but you still haven't figured out like why he do what he be. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think to Stevie's point, his goal at this point is to figure out a way out.
Yeah.
And that's death for him.
Yeah.
It's the horror, I guess.
Have you guys ever like shaved your heads?
No.
So the scene where he's rubbing his hand like through like his bald, like I guess you can call it like stubble hair, I imagine he has a little bit. I felt that watching this. I'm like, I just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that.
Horror and moral terror are your friends. If they are not, then they are enemies to be feared. They are truly enemies.
I think that was about shaving his head, that quote, which is why I played it at that moment.
He does tell this whole story where the GIs go to inoculate some of the locals, and then an army of RFK Juniors like cut off their arms so that the vaccine won't spread or something. Like, what's going on with that?
No,
who is
the GIs inoculated the kids,
right?
And then the local adults freaked out and chopped off the kids' arms.
I wasn't sure. He just says they, so I didn't know if it was like the North Vietnamese or the Viet Cong. Or
oh
like,
man, yeah, I don't know.
I know it's not clear, but it's a weird story too. Anti-vax.
I did like
Viet Cong.
I mean, I imagine Francis did a lot of typing, a lot of writing on this movie. I have to imagine.
I think like on the fly, he's trying to figure out how to land this plane.
But like where he said, what did he just say? Power and moral terror are your friends.
Yeah.
And if they're not, they are your enemies. Kind of the basis on like his whole disillusionment, right? Which is to win this war, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And the Americans don't want to be seen as this, so I will do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it sends him deeper and deeper to the depths of hell.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is kind of like the whole point of this movie, which is, like you said, Americans couldn't put a shine on it.
Yeah.
And we see what happens when someone doesn't want to put that shine on it and they actually want to get the job done. You get Marlon Brando's character.
Mm-hmm.
Or Martin Sheen's character.
Dennis Hopper's character.
Just getting the job done with that ladle on the screen right now.
He's going deep in the ladle. The water buffalo. It's pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Can we get some context on that?
It's been since Swiss Family Robinson since we've seen this much actual animal death in a film. It's
it's purposeful, at least in this one. But I assume that they did at least eat the meat.
My understanding, it was part of a ceremony, like a religious ceremony that was happening anyway. Supposedly. So he just filmed it. And I guess that's one way to do it.
Sure.
It's wild.
And Lance was going to put oil on the head anyway.
Yeah.
He was going to be part of that religious ceremony anyway. In the course of the movie, what's happening here is that, main character Willard, Martin Sheen, he's nursed back to health, and he's kind of free to just do whatever the heck he wants. He's getting ready to assassinate is what he's trying to do. And he's going to use this. There is like some sort of ritual thing going on, and everyone's distracted with this yak. And he's using that moment to kind of sneak around and take out the big guy.
The shot of him coming up from the swamp, too, as he approaches.
All timer.
One of the best shots in any movie ever, literally.
Incredible.
Timer.
It's so cool. It gets me pumped. It gets me so excited every time I see it. It's so weird.
I like it.
Dark and creepy.
But it's a marker for me because I feel like after that is like my least favorite part of the movie by far.
What's that?
I don't like seeing the yak killed. And frankly, guys, this death scene is shit.
Yeah, it's not...
Him killing Marlon Brando with a machete is like...
You don't understand how fat he was on set. You don't seem to conceptualize what they were shooting around, Josh.
But this is the best way to show the death. Why not just a quick slit throat or a myriad of other ways? I just don't. He's hacking away at him for a while, and then he's still able to like mutter words on the ground. I think the special ops Martin Sheen character would be able to take him out in a slice or two.
I'm kind of with you. I think don't even show it. Just like show Willard like stealth killing the protective archer in the back. Show Willard creeping into Kurtz's hut, and then just
show the yak.
The yak.
You have to show the yak.
I mean, I don't. The yak is scary. I can't get over the yak. That's one of the most violent things I've ever seen.
It's
in a movie,
freaky,
to be honest.
They go right through his spine.
It's like, I mean, how many movies have you seen a living creature actually die for real other than Swiss Family Robinson? Like, it's a lot.
Dude, stop dropping.
It is a long family favorite is Swiss Family Robinson, and there's a lot of like just animal torture.
A lot of animal torture. More than Apocalypse Now.
Is that your beef with the fish?
Josh sees an animal.
Swiss Family
Robinson.
Go. Animals trigger him.
God, look at that bushy chest hair.
It's incredible. It's immaculate.
What was your take on this final scene, Mikey? Did you know about the yak being real? Did you think it was? Even if the death scene was lame, did you feel like it served a story purpose or something?
No, I mean the yak scene I did not know about, but it was incredibly violent. Yeah, I mean the whole movie I was expecting cannibalism or something at some point. I was expecting something really heinous at the end, but the yak was violent enough for me. But incredibly graphic scene. I don't know if Brando, now that Stevie's saying Brando was fat the entire time, that also kind of pisses me off because it's like, well, I just want to see what this guy was like capable of, and him being out of shape, it's like I'm not getting that vibe now. I'm not seeing what this guy is so revered for in the jungle. I kind of want to see all of that kind of stuff to know why he's so legendary and praised. It's a little bit of a letdown, but the whole movie, I mean, is still incredible. I
mean, as pissed off as Francis Ford Coppola, as Josh will call him, or Coppola will call him, as he was during the shoot of this movie and just, going broke and irate, he pulled off like 2 all-timer shots back to back.
Yeah.
Which is coming out of the water and him like crouching on that ridge with the rain in the background and the festival happening. Mm-hmm. It's like, damn, dude. If you just look back at that when the film was processed and was like, all right, boys, lock it up. I did it. Like, it's just incredible what he did back to back. You're right. The death scene, like, isn't the greatest. I do enjoy Brando kind of like realizing, my angel of death has come for me. Mm. He doesn't really put up a giant fight. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude, we're watching the yak. It's a lot.
They show it like back to back to back to back.
Dude, I think it's just specifically the shots of Brando are bad. Like, because we're watching
the dude who goes after the neck does a really big job there.
Mm. Yeah.
He jumps pretty high in the air just to get that much force down on the spine.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most of it's working. It's just Brando's doesn't. Yeah, he's kind of just stumbling and bumbling around, and they're just trying to get through it. But yeah, poor yak, Buffalo.
They knew what they were
Animals
signing
armed.
up for.
No, they did not.
There's not too much of a coda here. There's one little side plot, and I don't know if I've ever seen the full director's remux, whatever the heck it is, but there's that one girl that they kind of show that clearly kind of knows what's going on. She doesn't end up doing anything. She's just kind of an onlooker, but I feel like in a different cut, maybe she takes some actions or is filled out.
Well, I think because like the whole tribe knows that Brando is dead as Willard leaves, so I think she's like told people that, hey, he comes out. And I
The
don't,
usurper has arrived.
yeah, them dropping their weapons, I don't really know what to make of it. It's like, like
He's a new king.
and he dropped his weapons, so they all did.
Mhm.
It's a happy ending. Apocalypse Now. Solved war.
I know there's an ending out.
Disarmament.
And there's another ending where Colby shoots Dennis Hopper in the head because he won't shut up.
That sounds cool.
And then
Mhm.
our man, Martin Estevez, stabs Colby to death.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen Dennis Hopper get his head blown off.
Yeah.
It's been kind of nice to see.
Mhm.
What we do get is the tribe and all the locals. The tribe, I shouldn't.
Little dong
tribe.
in this movie. You think there'd be more dong. Not as much dong as I thought there'd be.
Just a little bit of dong.
Yeah, I wish.
They drop their weapons, and Martin Sheen walks unscathed back to his boat. And I like this little detail that he has to like look back and kind of grab Lance and be like, "Yo, we're leaving now." Like, obviously, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Get
not.
out of your skirt. Let's go.
Wake up, Lance.
And the very last thing we get is that the airstrike folks are calling in like, "Hey, you ready for this?" And he just turns off the radio. So I guess he's not willing to blast all the people. Is that what you guys are picking up to? Is that an accurate portrayal of the ending?
I just don't think that's part of his mission, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't care, right? Like, because that's kind of something that Kurtz wanted or was the last resort. He's certainly shell shocked by everything he's just been through.
Bomb them all.
Yeah, but he's also not. He's not going to do
Drop
it.
the bomb.
He's not going to do
Exterminate
it
them
because he
all.
doesn't have to. He's just focused on his mission. He's out.
Yeah, it was just to terminate the command, and it's been terminated, and it's a waste of resources maybe to bomb.
There's also, there is the line where he's not part of their army anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
think he mentions that at one time, so he also might just not give a fuck. Like, I don't know what his plan is next, if he's going to be a major,
Yeah.
or if he's...
Yeah, make me a major for this.
Yeah. If he's going to start a shrimping company with a simple guy from Alabama or something. I don't know where he goes from here.
I put it out there, not my favorite ending of all time, but just any last thoughts here. And I think we can actually get into final thoughts too, because this is the end of part 2 of Apocalypse Now. We made it all the way upriver.
This is the end?
It's never really. the end,
yeah, I
is
just
it?
thought it was. It wasn't as extended as the end by the doors. I thought it was very abrupt in how it ended.
What's longer? This is the end by the doors? or
Yes.
Apocalypse Now redo?
This is the end by the doors. It's longer than everything.
Do you know how long the song is, Stevie? Guess.
16 minutes.
11 minutes, but close.
11:45, 11:50, something like that.
This is the end.
I made the joke just get to the end already, and it really killed last episode.
Yeah, you're just rehashing last podcast at this point.
People are going to be commenting on it on that episode on Spotify.
Where, if you've seen them, where you ranking the FFCs between Jack, Apocalypse Now, The Godfather, and Godfather 2? Because this man went on a run.
He did.
And you're counting Jack in that run?
Yeah, listen, there were some movies in between, but
Oh, okay.
Man, it's hard to go against anything for the Godfathers, but like, if someone said this is their favorite FFC, I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
I think they're all like pretty.
I think like Godfather Part 2 for me is the greatest movie ever made. Not my favorite movie ever made, it's the greatest movie ever made in my opinion. I think this is right there with The Godfather, maybe a step down, right, maybe even. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's I was telling you earlier, I think Kilgore's Charlie Don't Surf section is probably the best thing he's ever shot.
Yeah.
I mean, including The Godfathers, I think that by far and away is the best thing Francis Ford Coppola has ever shot. It is so criminally beautiful to look at, and also the dialogue is just amazing. That to me is like peak Francis Ford Coppola.
I think I just gravitate towards this more. I like they're all perfect and great. There's just a lot more like cool visuals in this one than The Godfathers, and I just dig that quite a bit. Like, be it helicopters or just smoke on the water.
That would have been the scene to do it right there when he's leading it out with his hand, and he's like, Kurtz is dead. He's like, who's Kurtz?
Another question, why called Apocalypse Now?
Dennis Hopper says, this is the end of the world, man. Someone spray painted Apocalypse Now on
presumably Dennis
one of the rocks.
I did see that and thought of you and thought, should they put the title card in right here?
Right here. This has been the time to do it. I'm with you though, Pap. To me, this is a perfect movie. I think it's, even though it's episodic, it's, bottle episodic at times, there's nothing wrong with it. Each section is its own little story. It adds up cumulatively, and also the reveal of our, I wouldn't even say villain, but our, mission is also incredible. Like, if you're gonna leave the finale to the set they built, it's awesome.
According to Cheezoid on /R True Film, the title was chosen based on a very popular tattoo amongst the hippie community at the time, 1965, that said Nirvana Now. But he wanted to make it more violent, so Apocalypse Now.
Whatever, Francis Ford.
So he named his timeless movie after the 60s version of a meme? That's pretty funny.
My last final thought before we get into yes or no's is I noticed how everyone is named very literally, like their nickname on the boat. Chef is a chef, like he likes to cook. Chief is the chief of the boat. Lance, I think that's actually like his name, but he's also kind of like the Lance because he's like the main gunner guy. And then Clean is like presumably the guy that has to swab the decks because he's like the youngest guy. He's like, get that clean. I picture him saying in an earlier episode. I just thought it was kind of cool and speaks to Chief's character. Like he would name everyone the job they have to do or something.
Well, I mean, one of the generals is named Kill Gore, so there are a lot of those.
It's like J.K. Rowling naming a character Chow Chang.
Yeah, it's
something like that.
Or having the only Irish character
Kojima names.
Create bombs all the time by accident. Great stuff like J.K. does.
Is this the best movie to take an edible an hour before of all time? Like seriously? Like imagine just getting to the bridge sequence and then you're really starting to feel it kick in. It could be fun.
I think in the 70s they might have said that you should drop your last tab of acid.
When Lance does?
Yeah, when Lance does or something. Seems pretty intense. Let's get to final thoughts because guess what? We have trivia at the end. And I even have a little prize.
Josh's prizes. I love Josh's door prizes. They're so much fun.
This is a prize like no
one
other.
Stinky sock.
Just one. Okay, so this is Josh from Goshen. Huge yes for Apocalypse Now. I had the joke Apocalypse No. But obviously that...
Apocalypse No.
Thanks, Mikey. I appreciate it.
That would have killed, man. That would have fucking killed me.
I loved it. I gushed probably too much last week. I think I do like the first half of this movie maybe slightly more than the second half. It has Duvall in it. It's just maybe a little more fun and less dark. But it's supposed to be a dark movie. It's supposed to get darker and darker as you go up the river. Does all that. I love it. Josh from Goshen. Yes.
Pappy, also from Stevie's Basement. Been keeping an eye on this beta the whole time. He's been keeping an eye on Josh the whole time. Has not moved.
I know, he's just waiting.
Staring him down. Yeah. Obvious hard yes. Deserving of...
The killer awoke before dawn.
The killer awoke before dawn?
Very on the nose.
Damn, Jim. That's
He's like
deep.
watching the movie, just saying what's happening. Poked his head out of the water. There's a lot of mist.
Yeah, deserving one of the best movies of all time. Iconic lines like the horror, iconic shots like Sheen coming out of the water. Pretty crazy how someone can just be this creative that many years in a row, right? Like, and I haven't seen The Conversation. I've heard good things. Maybe I'll watch that at some point. But like, by all accounts, made 4 of the best movies ever made. At least 3 of the best movies ever made back to back. This is one of them. Hard yes. Fun movie. Good time. Good first date movie.
You're not wrong. Yeah, this is movies an all-timer. One of my favorite movies we've covered on this pod. I wish I did the first half with you guys. This movie's a flat-out masterpiece, and it's not even one of those things where you're like, oh, a young character here or a young actor here. It's like you're just dropped in a world, and it's not good guys versus bad guys. It's the hell of what was Vietnam. And I'm excited to talk about, the Hearts of Darkness, but the hell of making this movie with you guys. That'll be a lot of fun. That to me is like, it's one of those things I think is missing today, which is, I think going to hell pushes your creativity a lot. And I think Francis Ford went to hell making this movie, and it's wild how great this movie turned out. Let's put it that way. By the making of, it's wild to look down and say, I can't believe this movie wasn't a disaster. Also, incredibly successful at the box office, 150 against a 30. Huge run with that. Like I said, I think it won a few Oscars. And yeah, this movie, you kind of said, Pap, it's a perfect movie. Kilgore as Robert Duvall is one of my favorite movie characters of all time. Even though you're only there for a short and sweet. Was he nominated for that?
I think so.
Man, he's so memorable. Even though his character is only short and sweet, all-time character, all-time performance and delivery, hardest of yeses for Apocalypse Now.
I was just reading a Jackie Chan quote where he said the Rush Hour movies got worse because by Rush Hour 3, we had too much budget, too much set, too much footage, too much coverage. And it was like they weren't going through
the creativity. It pushes you to get creative.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, didn't forget about you, Mikey. You're pulling up The Last of Us here.
Yeah, Mikey from Chicago. This is absolutely a hard yes. This is visually a stunning movie to look at. The story is incredible. I think I like this subject matter a little more than, say, The Godfather. It's been a while since I've seen Godfather 2, so I can't compare it to that. But yeah, I like his movies. I think this one is just like, Godfather's like clean. This one is like so much more gritty and so much more, I don't know, just like a bad time compared to Godfather. Like nobody was having fun during this. And I see a lot of influences in a lot of other media that I like to watch, and just really incredible to see a lot of these actors that were in this at so young, being so great in their different roles. And I mean, I just can't get over how awesome it looks for the time. And really, that one scene where they're blowing up the bridge with Kilgore, they're just like blowing up a bunch of shit. I think that's like kind of one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen on screen. Really don't know how they were pulling off some of that stuff back then, but I'm sure it was absolutely crazy, and I can't wait to watch Hearts of Darkness because I hear all about how troubled this shoot was, and I really would like to see how they pulled that off. But yeah, it's a absolute hard yes. It's really cool to see a movie that influenced other stuff that you really like.
Especially Tropic Thunder. When you realize, like, when the cameras are rolling in Tropic Thunder, what characters are playing from Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Like, Jack Black is playing Kilgore. Like, clearly, Robert Downey Jr. Is playing Chef. What is it? Al Pacino is playing Clean. And Ben Stiller is certainly playing Martin Estevez.
Somehow the making of the film in Tropic Thunder is smoother production than Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
More straightforward.
Yep.
Did this song actually end?
Yeah, and it was all fair use Spotify. We were talking about it the whole time.
In theory, it never does end. It just keeps playing.
I turned off the loop function here on the board, luckily for us. Okay. Last thing before we say goodbye to part 2 is just a really quick trivia and your prize. So, Mikey, you're going to start us off here. Here's your question. It's a closest to.
Good.
We talked about this being a bottle episode on this boat. It's called like a PCR boat or something. Patrol boat, comma,
PBR.
river. PBR. Yep, just like the beer. But that stands for patrol. That stands for patrol boat, comma, river.
Oh.
So my question to you guys in this bottle episode, how long in feet is the boat plus the top mile per hour, the top speed in miles per hour that the boat could go? So if it could go 50 miles an hour and it's 50 feet long, then your answer is 100, right? So Mikey, walk us through what you're thinking and what's your answer?
I'm going to say it's 12 feet long and it can probably go 30 miles an hour. So 42.
Stevie. Because you've won all the prizes in your basement. So,
No, I got one. I got a basketball trophy in my house.
that you probably threw away on your right.
Nope, I still have it.
Yeah, I'd love to do 39 as a queen's number because I think that a little longer than 12 feet. I'm gonna say that boat's probably 24. Say that boat's probably 24 feet long. 24. Actually, no. I'll say that boat's 27 feet long. Maybe longer than that. It seemed. Yeah. I'll tell you what, 29 feet long. It just seemed long. And I think that boat could probably top out at 28. So let's go with 57.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a little longer. I'm going to say 20 feet long. But I think it's going to be slower. I don't know. Is this nautical miles per hour? How many knots?
I think it is knots, actually.
It changes things.
I don't think it does.
I'll say 45. What did Mikey say? 42?
Mm-hmm.
45 seems good. We'll go in between. A good strategy for the closest to.
Super good strategy for closest to. So, the PBR Mark 1 was 31 feet long.
So close! Son of a bitch.
The PBR Mark 2, which this boat is in this movie, is 32 feet.
Oh. Gained a foot.
Top speed, 32 miles an hour for a grand total of 64.
Damn.
Once again.
Stevie, as you enjoy
The CCR.
this delicious pack of Albanese
Oh,
gummy
yes.
worms.
I love these. This is the best prize you've handed out so far.
Hey, give
I
you
love some gummy
like
worms.
20-year-old basketball trophies from your childhood.
That looks good.
These are delicious.
Why don't you rip into that a little bit and give us a hot take? As you do, I just wanted to shout out the town of Milford, Indiana. They had a Memorial Day parade, threw out thousands of those to the crowd.
You really can't call it a town.
The area.
The speck on the map of
Township.
truck.
It's a town. It's
the
more
size
than
of Flavor Freeze.
It's more than Dunlap, Indiana, which is a Census Bureau district.
Is that home of China Sea, the restaurant? Is that
Yes, it is.
Nice.
And actually, full disclosure, I got me and Pappy some worms too.
Gummy worms for everybody.
Sorry, Mikey.
It's all right, Mikey.
These all they're not paying us, obviously, but some of these are so sour. It's like so good and sour. But.
Oh, my.
Okay.
All right, I'm done hosting now. I'm going to eat worms. Stevie, toss us out, hot take us, everything.
I said this to Pap a couple weeks ago, and I still mean it as I watch it again. I think Toy Story 3 was a failure in storytelling.
Hot take.
Yeah, we're supposed to do this for hot takes, right? I think they really should have focused on Andy's mom a lot. The relationship she had with her, her firstborn son going up to college. I feel like that really wasn't hit. I feel like it should have been much about her as much as it was about Woody and Buzz. And I really think I understand moving to a new kid to be a toy, but also there are people's lives going on around these toys that they've witnessed over time. So I think if they could redo it, focus on Andy's mom. I think that's a better story than what we got in Toy Story 3. And the best Toy Story is still Toy Story 2, by far and away. Go to my grave saying that. So, spoilers out, folks. This was Spoilers. Thanks for listening. And what a great episode.
Special thank you to our patrons, Matt Troll, Brother Brian, Druid King, Nick, The Meg, Nurse Stacy, The Wolf, Barky 420, PK, Spencer, Gale, Swole, Cheese Zombie, Sebastian, Dr. Lar, Stone Cold Austin, Nephew Quinn, Best Friend Drew, Shatty Daddy, Jimmy the Cricket, Optimus E, the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, Derbs, Teddy Ruxpin. Please check us out on patreon.com/spoilerspodcast.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. Don't think that's for the song was good. You like the song?
That was Spoilers.